Hi all, welcome back to Automate Ops. My name is Somendu. Today we are diving into the Ansible Variables, which is the secret sauce for dynamic playbooks. By the end of this video, you'll declare, use, and master variables like you go. If you are ready, let's go. So today, what I'm going to do, I'll give you some example of variables, how to declare it, and how to use them efficiently when you are working on big projects or smaller projects. So for that, let me show you the inventory file. Okay. So let me show you. So I have spinned up three servers. One is the control server, which is I have declared as local host. I have connect to it using a local connection. And I have two servers. One is target 2. This is the private IP address of this particular server. I'm using the Ansible username as Ubuntu, considering it's an Ubuntu server. And I'm using another Ansible underscore port, which is a by default port as 22. So what I will do, I will use it in the upcoming example or upcoming labs. I have another one that is target one, which is an Amazon Linux server. This is a private IP address of the server. I'm using EC2-user as an Ansible user. And also I've declared the Python interpreter as Python 3.9 for this particular Amazon Linux. And I'll declare the Ansible port, which is by default 22, right? So let me show you the configuration file. So I have asked Ansible to look into the host file when it is looking for an inventory file explicitly. I'm not using the -i parameter here to define or point or to the inventory file. And for any of the target servers, I'm not checking any host key. So this is the configuration file that I have mentioned. All right, let me go through the example. Okay. So what I will do, I'll show you the examples here. So let's see the first example. All right, for this particular example, it is a very basic. Here is a playbook where we are declaring a variable called example underscore key underscore one, and I'm trying to print it. I hope you have mentioned the first three dashes, the option in the YAML, and this is the debug task. It's our best friend for testing the values. So what I'm doing, I'm targeting the target servers. I'm not gathering any facts, declaring a variable example and key underscore one and declaring its value also. This is an example. I'm using the Ansible debug module to print the value of this particular key. So let's run it. All right. So Ansible playbook test one. Let's check the syntax. If any issues are there, there is no syntax error. So what I will do, I will simply run it. You see, it is showing the value of the variable. This is an example. So what is the content here? So this is the overall content of the file. Example underscore key underscore one are declared, and I've declared the value is an example. So this is showing the value. Moving to the next example. All right. So what I'm doing, I'm showing the dictionary. Here we are defining a dictionary called dict. It is though it's a user keyword, but we can use it. You will get a warning message. Will run that playbook. And this is the key name of the dictionary, dict underscore key. And this is the value of that dict underscore key. This is the value. What I'm doing, I'm accessing the value of this dictionary called dict using three different ways. First is I'm displaying the value of entire dictionary. Second, I'm using the dictionary key called dict underscore key using dot operator and displaying its value. Here also it should show this is a dictionary value. And the third option, I'm using Python bracket. Here I'm using the uh, uh, dictionary name and the dictionary key. Using the bracket, I'm showing the value of the dictionary. So let's run that. As I've stated, considering I'm using reserve name dict, it is showing me a warning, but not a showstopper to run the playbook. So this is the value of the dictionary, dict underscore key, and showing the entire value. Then I'm using the dot operator to get the value of this key, dict underscore key. And then I'm using the Python bracket to get the value of the dict underscore key. All right, I hope it is clear. Let me go to another example. So here I'm doing what? I'm using inline dictionaries. If I want to keep it compact, we can use the inline dictionaries. Same access pattern, either apply dot or the bracket is easy. Is the name of the playbook name is the target where I'm targeting to run this command. I am not gathering any facts and I'm using an inline dictionary example under tick, and this is the name of the key example, and then it is showing the value of that. I'm using three different options like last example, showing the entire dictionary value. Then I'm using the dot operator to get the value of this key called example. And here I'm using the Python bracket notation to display the value of this example and put it. So let's run this. Let's see. Let's get the syntax. No issues in the syntax. Let's run this playbook. You see, so it is showing the entire example key value also for entire dictionary. Then it is showing only the using dot operator. I'm using the notation using the dictionary key value and using the Python bracket also. I'm using the displaying the value of that key. So let me show you the code one more time. So this is the overall code of the stage 3. Here it is showing the entire dictionary. Here it is showing the only value of this. This is dot operator. Here I am using the Python bracket notation. All right. Let me go to the next example. All right. This is the list. Very interesting. So these are our ordered items. As I've already mentioned, it starts with the dash. So this is the name of the playbook. This is the target servers. I'm not gathering any facts. Usually I have declared the list. I've mentioned 5 items. If I want here, I'm displaying the entire list value. It should show all the files. Then I'm using the first list. It has to be accessible using index 0. Then it is index 1, it is index 2, it is index 3, and it is index 4. So here using dot and Python bracket operator respectively, I'm using displaying the content of the first list, that is item 1. And in this example, my underscore list dot one, it will show you item 2 as this index 1 means is the second item in the list. Here I am using the bracket operator notation of Python to display the item 2. Let's show this Ansible playbook export check. No syntax errors are there. Let me show you the value. So you see the values are displaying over here. So it is now showing the entire list for both the targets. And as I stated, this is only displaying the first item using dot notation and bracket notation, and displaying the second using index 1 through dot notation and Python bracket notation. All right, so either you use the dot or it's the bracket, your choice. So for this example, name is my underscore list. If I using my underscore list dot zero, it will show you the first item. Or if you show my underscore list within third bracket, it should also show you the same thing. All right. Let me go to the example. This is a big one, very interesting. You are seeing one information which we have not discussed earlier. This is the name of the playbook displaying external dictionary. This is the target. I'm not gathering any facts, and this is the external dict. I'll show you the content of this file after some time. Okay. So what is now happening? If you have any big projects, you want to keep your variables in external files. This kind of notion is very clear and it gives you a very clean and organized playbook. So let me show the content of this external playbook. If you see, there are two key values there. One is an inline dictionary. This is not an inline dictionary. This is also key value dictionary. You have declared one list. This is also inline lem list. Item 345. Here also item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I will go, I'll go into the file one. It is displaying the entire example, hmm, entire key value external dictionary. Then it is showing the inline dictionary. Now it is showing the inline dictionary key to the dot operator. Here it is using the inline dictionary key using the Python bracket notation. Here it is showing the external list entirely, and here it is showing external list first item using dot operator. Here it is showing the external list first item using the Python bracket, and here it is showing the entire external inline name list. In the name list, external item 1, external item 2, I hope you remember. Then it is showing the first item using dot operator, and the same is getting displayed using the Python bracket notation. So let me run this playbook. All right, no syntax. Let's run this. You see it is showing the external key value option and internal dictionary key value it is showing. Here it is showing the only the value of the external inline dictionary using dot operator. So the same is getting used using the bracket notation. Here it is getting displayed the entire external list, and then it is the first item of the external list to dot operator, and it is a Python bracket. This is an external inline list, external item 1 to 5, and it is accessing the first list item using dot operator. The same is getting accessed using the Python bracket. Let me show you that code one more time. So this is the external file content. It helps to keep your project clean, and this is the overall main playbook which is there. All right, let me go to next example. So you see, for this one, it is showing a VARS prompt. VARS prompt, it is capturing the username and password. Password will stay hidden for the security. Here, what I am doing, here I am giving the private and false. So when I will run this code, you will see username, the characters will be visible. But when I'm in typing the password, it will not show the characters which I'm typing. At the end, when I'm showing the entire content, what is the username, but it will show. So let me show it to you one more time. All right, so this is the overall code. Here, host name is target. It's not gathering any facts. Username and password. Username is not private. Password is a private, and it will showing the entire content the last. So what I will do, will run this. See, it is looking for a ID which I have given. You see, the characters are displaying here. Now it is asking for a password. Now I'm typing the password here, but it will not getting displayed. It will be if I type enter now, it will show you the username and password. Okay. So for both the targets, it is showing the username, the password also. Considering private flag is enabled for the password, it is not displaying the characters. Finally, it is getting displayed here. All right. Now let me go to another example. Here I have divided into two different playbooks. Here is the name, host and defaults one. Then I have targeted the target groups. Not I'm gathering the facts here because there is a need for that. I have not declared any variable. What I am doing, I've been fetching the Ansible and the code. If you remember when I was discussing the inventory of this particular session, I have declared Ansible underscore port. So using the host bars, we are fetching the uh, Ansible hostname, and through the Ansible hostname, I will try to fetch the port names also to dot. And here I am using the same using Python bracket notation. So let's start. Let me run this playbook. So let me run this. See, it is showing through dot operator and through what I will do. I'll show you the content of inventory. This is the content of the overall inventory. You see this particular point here where target one, it is having the actual port, and same for target two also, right? So it is not showing anything for control, considering I have not mentioned the control also. If I use the target as all, it should show. It will throw an error message considering I'm not fetching anything here, but by default it should show 22. So what I will do, I will go to the next particular example in 8. What I've done the same thing. Name of the playbook, what is the target, gathering the facts. Using Ansible hostname, I'm trying to fetch the Ansible port. Here I've given the default value as 22, so that if I don't have anything, it will give you the message or the value as 22 also. So what I will do, I will run it now. All right. So you see, it is giving you the message here. Now what I will do, I will once again run this code. Will give another value for this answer put in the runtime using minus e. I hope you remember the usage of minus e. It should throw an error message considering all the target servers and control servers are connected to each other using port 22 only. So it is showing an error message as failed to connect to the host because it is trying to connect to the host using the port 8808 and which is not configured here. So that's why it is showing message. Let me run this one more time. If I'm not giving overriding value, so it should by default use port 22. And it will give you the message or the information as we have discussed it. All right. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If this helped, please subscribe and smash that like button. And please drop your biggest DM challenge in. Keep automating, keep winning your next breakthrough. Start now. Thank you all. Bye.